Let's talk about passion jobs and the shame that often comes with them. I work with burnt out overachievers, and while some of them are business owners, co founders of their own companies, a lot of them are working in corporate, all the way from the C suite down to the individual contributor level. And a thing that I find is that while some people are like, a job's a job and this one pays nicely, a lot of folks really love what it is they do, or at least they did before they got burnt out. The paradox that I often see is almost this sheepishness when the joy of working either returns to the person or they always have that joy. It's just that they have wanted to make room for other things. Almost this guilt and shame in the sense of I'm doing something wrong if I love what I'm doing at work. But why would I encourage you to do something that made you miserable 40 plus hours every single week? The goal in my mind is to do something that you love doing, whether it's personally deeply meaningful and you feel like you're saving the whales, or it's just a really cool puzzle to figure out, or you're touching on something that millions of people are going to see and there's something exciting about that, or you just really like being around the types of people that tend to be drawn to your particular field. I think there's this really toxic flip side of the coin in the wellness space, almost this anti hustle culture that still feeds into the myth that hustle culture is founded on. And it goes a little something like this. If you work a 9 to 5, it has to be this soul sucking, horrible, terrible thing. You're just a cog in the machine. Nothing you do matters, and thus you shouldn't feel any type of way about it. And the only way in this weird wellness myth to have good work-life balance, to have a personal life, to have good well-being, is to find a job that you can just switch off from entirely, one that you do not care about at all. Try and waste as much company time as humanly possible because the goal is to work as little as humanly possible so that you can stay in misery for the least amount of time, because the opposite is clearly that you overvalue professional success and its hustle culture. But both of them are saying work has to be misery, and the only way to succeed professionally is to drive yourself into the ground. Now, if you want to go get what people are calling a lazy girl job, basically a job that is still paid really well, but that you don't have to use your brain for at all, you can switch off. If that's the best way to be protective of your personal time, the best way for you personally is to do something that you hate so much you're excited to put it down, or that you can ignore. Like, you are the expert in your own life. You can do that. I would be so miserable if I was spending even 10 hours of my week in such a job. I would not do well. I would not do well in that job, but I love what I do. And I've worked corporate and loved what I did. And I work with people who love what they do. So if you are someone who wants to work in jobs that tend to be high pressure, to enjoy the fact that a lot of times those jobs are really well paid, and also have the time and energy and emotional and mental capacity to enjoy your personal life outside of that job, give me a follow and check out the newsletter for weekly actionable tips.